Okay. All right. Okay. Fuck it. Let's do this live. Let's go. Hey, everybody. It's Kevin. Checking in with an update. It's been a little wacky the past week here or so, as maybe if you're following along on Facebook can tell. Where do I start? I don't even know where I start on my journey. I guess I was getting ready to do an update, kind of halfway through the current cancer treatments that I was having, Pluvicto, which I'll get to a little bit later. But just to add a little fun flavor to things, about 2 weeks ago, it was during the heat. I figured I was getting dehydrated and just bothered, cancer boy, by the heat, having some headaches and just extra fatigue, and having some trouble with my mobility. Flash forward to last Monday last week. One of my jobs here has been to switch the car over and alter the side parking up here in the city, and I was driving the car, and I just really kind of felt that no, I shouldn't be driving this car. So I got it parked and got into the park and thought I'd clear my head, and 3 hours later I was still in the park. So headed back to the apartment here and texted Beatty and said I didn't feel well, and obviously she came racing over, and we went to the hospital and discovered my new addition, which is this guy right here. This is about the size of my hemorrhagic cerebellar metastasis, which is a tumor right here in the back of the head that is bleeding, tucked within the folds into the pillow of my brain. This thing has probably been growing there for a couple of weeks, couple months, and it caused what's called an obstructive hydrocephalus. And that's a bleed-blocked spinal fluid flow, and it grows pressure in the skull. So when I came home, I had the car keys in my hand, laying in the bed, and wanted to take a nap with my stomach. B came home, picked me up, got me in an Uber. I mean, we're 10 minutes from Memorial Sloan here, one in the ER, and they did an immediate CT scan and found this mass, which had shown up in PET scans as a shadow just a few weeks before, but was now like a real thing and a real a real emergency. So obviously they got me up to the intensive care unit. At that point, that was kind of the scariest part because it's the middle of the night. There are no specialists there, and all they could do was really kind of stabilize me. But then the next day, team was right on it. Had an MRI, which gave them more clarity about what we were dealing with here, and then right into surgery. So I've listed some of the details. If you're interested, I'm interested, obviously, and I'm trying to keep these notes for myself just to remember, because there's so much happening. But I feel value in sharing it too. People have told me that there's value, so I'm going to do it. Anyway, they inserted a shunt into my head, which is basically a valve that relieves the pressure. I mean, if you think of that olive as like almost like a kidney stone, it was like filling up. I was drowning in my own skull fluid. So the shunt is then, if the only way I've been describing it is like one of those batter helmets with the hoses that come around. You drink the beer on the outside. Well, it's basically the same thing, except they've put the hoses on the inside, and you can see from the pictures of what it does exactly if you're so inclined. But the long and the short of it, it worked, which is great. So that was on Tuesday, and then from Tuesday until Friday, I was in the ICU at Sloan, which is a whole other conversation. I think I really want to stick to what's going on here, what's happening. But shout out to that place. holy crap, amazing. And then on Friday, I was sent down from there to regular hospital, and then out of the hospital on Saturday, which is, and I'll get to that in a second, but that's kind of pretty amazing. I continue to have people shaking their heads, including myself, about what's actually happening here. So what else? Where are we now? I'm here. I'm recovering. Home, New York home. Ted's here. Nora's here. Bee's here. Lisa's here. Everybody's here. I've been being treated like a king, which has led to some really rapid recovery. And as I sit here, I have not felt better than since I got sick originally more than 18 months ago. It's an absolute amazement. The shunt has allowed my brain to dry. It has given me clarity back. The neuropathy in my foot, my left foot, in case you didn't know, I've been having problems with that. That is beginning to clear. I have no pain in my spine fractures. I am revved up on steroids, and I'm almost just kind of in a state of it's like if you reset your hard drive. You can feel my body shudder with the central nervous system just kind of recalibrating and readjusting to what it should be. It's an amazing thing. So I guess ultimately good news story there. The bigger picture is a little bit more murky. The tumor is still there and it's still bleeding. So there are next steps that are being put in place that will be happening over the next few weeks to try to deal with that particular tumor, and then my overall treatment, which has stopped as a result of this, which sucks. But hey, let's list the priorities here. So what's going to happen is on the 31st of July, they're going to give me another MRI, which will take a look at the tumor without all the gunk involved. It'll kind of clear it out, let it settle, see how it's working. If it has continued to grow, that most likely will mean another surgery. If it stays the same, or if it's starting to, the neurologist said it looked kind of it was an unwell tumor, if that makes sense. It wasn't thriving. It might have been knocked back by the chemo from last year, or the Pluvicto, or they don't know yet until they do a biopsy. So that might be the second set. If it kind of stays the same and there's enough tissue to get out of it, they will identify what sort of morphology. My morphology has always been fucked up from the beginning. It can't make a sense of whether it's this one flavor or this other flavor called neuroendocrine, which is not good, but it is what it is. So if they can identify those things, they can radiate both of those things and hopefully knock this thing down for as long as they can. And then the other option is that it's just starting to go away in itself, which sounds good to me. And hopefully that would mean that I could get started on the Pluvicto again, which sucks because it was working. It's working. You can see if you go into the post, my PSA in April was 46, and they just for the hell of it, they did a draw this week, and it was 6. So the overall cancer was responding very well to the cancer treatment, and it's just this is a kind of a foul ball here. that we have going on. So let me see. I have some notes here. I just want to make sure. So yeah, scan, review, adjust. I guess that's it. That's enough for now. But I felt the need to share because for several reasons. One of which, I am a super sharer. I admit it. And I'm a narcissist. I'm sure when it comes to this, it fascinates me as a wannabe journalist. It's too bad it's me, but like I kind of separate myself from it, and it's something that's cathartic for me. What I've discovered in conversations and with your comments and your use of Facebook specifically, but also through texts and calls, there is a real phenomenon that has occurred here for me, and I think it's something that it needs to be recognized. Some of you may think of me as a skeptic. I may have sarcastically said thoughts and prayers once or twice during my time. No more. And I just want to give you an example of the power of what we're dealing with here and your contribution to it. On Thursday, so when you're in the bed, you can't move. You're not allowed to move. If you move a leg, an alarm goes off. There's a nurse staring at you 24 hours a day. You're trying to keep your brain as still as possible. And then when they finally moved me down, it was a little bit more lenient. They were checking me once an hour, like neuropathy tests once an hour. When you got down to the regular room, it was once every 3 hours. Yeah, right. But so I was left in a private room to my own devices, and the only thing I could do was scroll. And I had, I don't even remember half the shit I posted that week. But that's like all I could do. And so all I did was read your comments back and forth. And when I woke up in the morning on Friday, the physical therapy team, one of the six teams that had to sign off on me being released from the hospital, were like, look, you look pretty beat up, and you want to give it a shot. This is our last round of the week before we'll be going away for the weekend. And it was because of your encouragement and because of what I read. And I'm like, I'm going to get my ass up, and I'm going to walk around and take a lot. And I took a lot, and I went up and down the stairs, and they both were like, it's good enough for me. We'll clear you. And they were the ones. If that hadn't happened, I would have been stuck in the hospital through the weekend. I would have missed the World Cup. I would have missed Saturday night and Sunday and even probably Monday until I got out. And those 72 hours and the recovery that I had from just being home versus being in the hospital is a real tangible measure to the value of this communication, and I just want to thank you all genuinely for it. It needs to be measured and it needs to be documented. I'm a little busy right now, but I'm putting it on the docket for further investigation. And the second thing is there's a lot of I've had a really valuable experience, as weird as that sounds. In terms of what it means to be alive, what it means to die. I watch people die during the week, and to have a second chance or a third chance is something that I feel like Princess Leia, like sticking the cassette in R2-D2, like he just. I want to I hope I'm reminding myself, and I hope it helps any of you guys, because I have gotten messages from people saying that everybody has their struggles, right? It's just take the win. Just take the win today, Monday, I went and I bought breadcrumbs by myself, and it took me 40 minutes, and the guy needed to help me, and but I got him, and it was like a win. And yesterday, I got my fucking haircut, and it was wonderful. I feel like Scrooge on Christmas Day, and it's just so simple. It's so simple. The simple joy of just being alive and caring for one another is just an essence that I never want to forget. I hope I forget and properly repress all of this shit eventually. But I wanted to timestamp this moment to personally thank all of you and to go forward, and let's keep on keeping on. All right, so I'll be boring you with further updates. That's enough. That's all I got. That's all I got.